Greetings, Ian from RTO here. Welcome to a one-off album review where we now and again just review one of these. We made an album and we didn't make any more. The trouble is with this one, they only made one album as the name of the group, but they appear on other albums as well. And the band we're talking about is Rockpile. Now, they were formed in the late 70s. And they're noted for the pub rock sound of rockabilly and power pop influences. The band consisted of Dave Edmunds, Nick Lowe, Billy Bremner and Terry Williams. Now, the thing is, they recorded enough material to actually put out 5 albums, but this is the only one they put out, Seconds of Pleasure, as the band. But other albums that have got them on, Tracks on Wax, Repeat When Necessary, Twanging, It's All, and Labour of Lust, It's All These. So it's quite interesting. Scattered through here is some great rock and roll recorded by Mickey Jupp and Carleen Carter. So you've got a mixture of all them. I mean, Carleen was married to Nick, so it's going to be interesting. But the album we're going to look at is their one and only album, Seconds of Pleasure, which came out in 1980. So the first track is a track called Teacher Teacher, which Nick Lowe sings. What can you just say? It's great. If you love Dave Edmunds and you love Nick Lowe, you're going to love this, especially that, you know, them Repeat When Necessary, which is my favourite album and of Dave's. And then you've got Labour of Lust, which is my favourite album of Nick's, who was recorded at the same time. I wouldn't be surprised if all these albums were sort of recorded at the same time. But it's a great song. Wonderful track. Then they do a cover, which is an old Joe Tex song that he released in 1966, and it said, If Sugar Was As Sweet As You, sang by Mr. Dave Edmunds. And once again, they deliver a great track, a great version of a great oldie. Absolutely brilliant. It could have appeared on any of the albums. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, next up is Heart. Now, Billy sings this. Now, obviously, Billy doesn't sing much as the main singer with Nick and Dave solo, but this is great. Billy is a great singer. It's just nice to hear him come to he does a lot of the backing vocals, but it's a great little rock and roll song. Then we have this short little thing called Now and Always, and it's Nick Lowe and Dave Edmunds singing together. British Everly Brothers here. Wonderfully sung together. I like this. It's just a wonderful, real great song. Okay, then we have another cover called A Knife and a Fork, written by Kay Anderson, Aisha Henny and Charles Derrick. I've heard a version of this. It's really good, and they do a great version of it anyway. Then we have a Nick Lowe song, which Nick sings, of course. It's called Play That Fast Thing. Great rock and roll number, some great drumming on it from Terry. Just a classic sort of rock and rolly, rockabilly type song. Really good. We'll flip it over to side 2. And this is a cover of a Squeeze song. Now, this actually isn't on an album. It was on a flexi disc of smash hits, written by Mr. Difford and Mr. Tilbrook, and it's called Wrong Again, Let's Face It, and Dave Edmunds sounds it. Great version of this. I've only heard this a few times, and I had to find it on YouTube, and they do a great version of it. Brilliant. Top drawer stuff. Then we have Pet You and Hold You. Nick Lowe sings this. Good song again. Well, it's very hard to just try and capture what it is. Just great rock and roll music. You can't. It's just a great track. Of course, Dave Edmunds being a big Chuck Berry fan, you can't do an album without doing a Chuck Berry song, and it's Oh What a Thrill, which is a great version of this. I think this is probably better than Chuck's. Yes, I'll get shot down for that, but it's grim. When I Write a Book, a great song by Nick Lowe. There's so many. I mean, you could have imagined Graham Parker singing this. You could imagine Elvis Costello. It's just one of them songs that everyone was doing at that time. It's a really good track. Then we have a track called Fool Too Long. Nick Lowe wrote this even. All the classic traits of pub rock, with a great vocal from Mr. Edmonds. Then we have a cover. It's a song written by Rockin' Sidney, released in 1961. It's called You Ain't Nothing But Fine. And Billy sings it again, and it's a great song. He's got a great voice. I love that song. One of my favourites on the album, actually. And that was the last track, and it's one of the best covers on the album. So the old critics... All Music gave this a 5 stars, believe it or not. Crystal gave it an A-, which I'm shocked about. Entertainment Weekly gave it an A-. Record Mirror gave it 4 stars. Rolling Stone gave it 4 stars. Smash Hits 8 out of 10. And Spin Alternative Guide gave it a 7 out of 10. Got to number 27 on the Billboard in America and 34 over here. I love this album. It's just great to listen to. I just love the sound that these created in that period. It's great to hear Billy singing on it as a lead singer. Always made some great backing vocals on Nick's and Dave's albums. It's just a really strong album, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So there we go. That's it for this week. Having a weekend off. Well, I'm not having a weekend off as such. I've got some work to do for future stuff on the channel. But I'll be back on Monday, and we're going to start off Monday with looking at the solo albums of Syd Barrett from Pink Floyd. So you can see we're going to be going through some Pink Floyd members' solo stuff for the next few months. And then we're going to have the last ever classic album. I think we've milked it a little bit now. We're struggling to get things, so we've come up with a brand new show that starts on April the 1st, believe it or not. And you'll find out a little bit more about that next week. But we're going to look at Mojo's #1 album released on the Motown, and it's Marvin Gaye's album. And I've forgotten the title of it. What an idiot. What's going on? What's happening? Something like that. Senior moment for me in there. But that's all on Monday. So have a great weekend, everybody. I will be popping into Simon's live stream tonight. So if you want to come and catch up with us all on there, we'll be there tonight. So bye for now.